even though they weren't quite sure what God could possibly do to save them. But when morning finally came, the missionaries were amazed to discover that all their attackers had left. A year later, the chief of the tribe that had terrorized them became a Christian. Remembering what had happened, Reverend Crafton went up to the chief and asked him why he and his warriors had not burned down their camp and killed them that night. When the chief heard that question, he got this puzzled look on his face and said, "What do you mean? How could we have attacked you when you had so many men there with you?" Reverend Patton said, "There were no men with us. My wife and I were the only ones there." But the chief went on to explain how he and his warriors had seen hundreds of large men with drawn swords standing between them and the missionaries. And it was only then that Reverend Patton realized, to his amazement, that God had heard their prayers that night and had sent angels there to protect them. And the chief agreed that there could be no other explanation. When we focus on the bad news, when we allow the bad news to dominate and determine how we live our lives, we're led to believe that the way that things are right now is the way that they're always going to be. When we constantly focus on the bad news, we end up assuming that there is no hope, that the problems that face us now in our lives and in the world will eventually do us evil. But when we open ourselves up to the good news that God offers us and allow that good news to determine how we live, we're led to discover that no matter what we might face in life, there is no problem that God can't solve. When we open ourselves up to the good news that God offers, we discover that there is a future that lies ahead of us that is far beyond what we could even imagine. Let us pray. Almighty God, you have made us and all things to serve you. Now prepare us for your rule. Come quickly to save us and fill us with your Spirit, so that we may serve you and proclaim the good news of your salvation to all the world. Through Jesus Christ, who lives in